That's cool.
Okay, so hey man, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
What's your name?
Scott.
Scott, cool. So Scott, I got a couple questions. I'm just curious. So you know we're doing this promotion for Kick-Ass. You've heard of the movie?
Indeed I have.
Awesome. Do you plan on seeing it?
Absolutely. Big Nick Cage fan, Matthew Vaughn fan, Claudia Schiffer, the whole fan. Big fan thing.
Awesome, great. So because we're here at South by we're going to ask you, just kind of curious what maybe your most kick-ass moment has been at South by Southwest.
Really? Not necessarily this Southwest, like any South by Southwest?
Well, if you're like that, yeah. I mean, if you're committed to the festival, then for sure,
I'm a long-time resident, so I've been to a lot of South by Southwest.
Grab from your encyclopedia of experience.
Absolutely. There's actually one particular moment. There was a music festival. It was the end of the festival. I'm like driving home late night. I'm going down 6th Street. I actually crossed from, what is it, Katz's, and there's some like a music hall there, and I hear this badass like jamming hard rock. I go in there. There's a girl, maybe like 5'4", smoking hot with boots and the whole like short blue jeans and the hat and stuff.
Okay.
She's just jamming out. She's rocking out. She's got this Madonna thing on, which back then wasn't that popular. And so she's like jamming out, like literally like slamming all the old guys like me. And she like runs out of the bar, and I like following her. She runs into the street with her guitar on her guitar stove, like jamming out, and literally this taxi cab slams on its brakes, and she does like this flying backflip onto the taxi cab while she's still jamming and singing. And ever since then, been in love with South by Southwest and her.
That is awesome story.
I don't really remember her. Actually, I remember her, but I don't know her name. She's
and ever awesome. Since then, you've been a fan, and you're doing South by every year.
South by Southwest
cool.
every year, and film festival. I'm just intrigued by it now.
Okay, let's talk more about kicking ass and superheroes. Okay. I'm really curious, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
A superpower, like to control anything I wanted?
Any superpower that you could think of, if you were granted, one superpower, you have one.
I think it's a control thing for me. I think if I had a superpower, I'd be able to control like an individual. Like if some motherfucker, excuse me, am I allowed to drop F-bombs in this thing?
I don't, probably not. Probably.
All right, so as to control someone, then I'd be like have this power to understand that I am the mofo, right? That guy needs to stand down, and so I give him like kind of a look. And that person would stand there like, they would succumb to whatever I needed. There'd be like one time that I'd be able to exercise my authority, and they would understand that they are subservient, and they would just do what I asked at that moment. Like, kind of, yeah, I want your girl to walk in that bar. I want you to let me in this VIP line, and I want your girl to come with me. And they'd be like, bouncer dude be like, all right. He'd be like 7'2" tall, and he'd stand down. That would be my power. I'd take his girl into the party, have a big time.
What do you think with that power your superhero name might be?
The executive. The executor. The executor. So the executor of like a will, estate, like an executive of a corporation, the executor.
Okay.
And I'd be the motherfucker.
If the executor, who can like stare anybody down and get them to grant their any request, were to kick one person's ass in the world, who would it be?
Politics aside, it would probably be like a parking lot attendant. Some person who like exercised a little bit more authority than they should. Like, you can't park there at the end of the row. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna park here at the end of the row. You'd be like, no. I'd be like, jump out, and I would just rockishly kick his ass, and I'd throw him in a dumpster that's there near the parking lot, and then I'd go back and I'd park my car right there in that parking spot that he should let me park in the first time that he exercised his authority improperly.
Some sort of parking checker with a power problem. I think we could all relate to that.
Yeah, anyone with like who over-exercises the little bit of authority they've been given should be subjected to my like wrath.
All right. Have you ever actually kicked anyone's ass?
I have.
Were they deserving of this ass kicking?
Not necessarily. Kind of just a random karma balance thing. They got it because I had one of those nights.
Okay, well, on that note, have you ever had your ass kicked?
Indeed I have.
You've gotten your ass kicked?
Yeah.
Badly?
Well, on 2 counts. Once a little bit badly, but also as part of a militaristic hazing, like college hazing program, an underground,
Okay.
kind of fraternity thing. It was very good for me. So yeah.
Scott, do you have a favorite superhero?
No, I have a bunch of favorite superheroes.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, you bet.
All right.
Are we